Extra time.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.
The inaugural season of the Indian Premier League was held in 2008. The season commenced on 18th April with the final match held on 1st of June. But the seeds of the lucrative league were sown a year back in 2007 by the then IPL Governing Council Chairman Lalit Modi. Cricket correspondent Dinesh Chopra narrates the formative years of the cash-rich league and how it all started. According to Dinesh, the inaugural T20 World Cup win in 2007 by the Indian team led by MS Dhoni acted as a catalyst.
So my first brush with IPL was, I distinctly remember I was covering T20 World Cup in 2007 in South Africa. And at that time, I was working with ESPN Star Sports. It was 19th of September, the day Yuvraj Singh hit 6 sixes against England. And after the match, there were a lot of celebrations. And it was, I don't need to underline that how big a feat that was. And I remember Lalit Modi was there in Durban on that day. And he was wearing a blue-colored cap, a dark blue-colored cap, which said IPL. We didn't know much about that. Back in 2007, there was hardly any mention about that. And whatever it was scuttled by the BCCI, as they did not want franchisee cricket to be initiated. But Lalit, after the match, when everything finished, we did the post-match presentation. Yuvraj Singh was gifted away a few awards. A lot of announcements were made. Lalit told us that something very big is going to happen in a few months to go. And then I remember there were a few other journalists as well who were at the ground in Kingsmead, Durban. And Lalit took us all a little bit of a presentation of IPL, that what's in store. So that was my first brush. But I don't think anyone, I can talk about myself. We didn't realize that it's going to be as big as it is today. That it is the biggest, easily the biggest cricket league in the world. One of the top leagues, if you encompass all the other sports as well. So it's grown leaps and bounds, and I'm sure everybody across the world is envious and acknowledges the fact that Indian cricket has given something massive to world cricket.
And talking about how has the media reacted to once this concept of IPL was floated by Lalit Modi, the IPL Governing Council Chairman, then how has the media sort of reacted to it? And can you talk us about the build-up to the inaugural cash-rich league?
I remember in 2005, at that time I was working with ESPN Star Sports. I think 2005 or 6, there was a BCCI AGM or I don't remember which meeting, but there was one meeting at Taj Palace in Delhi where Lalit made this presentation to then BCCI top brass. But along with the media, BCCI, they completely dismissed the idea. They said that Indian cricket is in pink of health. They do not need any innovation, which is as drastic as introducing franchisee cricket. You remember back in those days, even today, Test cricket is the format. And back in 2005-06, Test cricket was very, very well respected. And there were two the other format was ODIs, which still coexists, but there wasn't any space for T20 back in 2005-06 when it was formally introduced in a BCCI meeting. So I think the media as well as BCCI, they were not very warm to the idea of any innovation. In general, I think a human mind is not very receptive to change. And given that cricket was, as I said, was doing pretty well in India, there wasn't much flexibility in the minds of the media as well as the BCCI. The other thing I remember in 2000, you would recall that we had a big match fixing scam in 99-2000 involving Hansi Cronje, a few other Indians like Azhar and Ajay Sharma. They were all indicted in that. There were a few BCCI members who didn't want to come on record, but they also felt at that time that introducing slam bang cricket like T20 could encourage things like spot fixing and match fixing. And they didn't want to come on record, but that was the reservation they had. They wanted it to be absolutely clean and crystal clear. They didn't want any private investors to come in running the show, which is what franchisee cricket is. It is the teams, as we all know today, are owned by private investors. So because of that match fixing scam in 2000 and the fact that franchisee cricket does involve private investors, they were a little skeptical going this route.
And finally, Paji, your thoughts on that first match between Royal Challengers Bangalore and
Yes.
Kolkata Knight Riders, that knock of Brendan McCullum.
Yeah, it was like a perfect starter to the main course. But I think before that starter happened, we should always look around. We should always talk about the 2007 World Cup victory for the Indian team. I think that was the germination of of the T20 in the minds of the I would say the Indian audiences. If India had not won the World Cup, would IPL would have been as big? Perhaps yes, perhaps not. But I think what that 2007 World Cup win did was it gave the acceptability of this particular format in the minds of the Indian audiences. Because it was a World Cup, since 1983, we had been trying to win a World Cup. In 2003, we came very close by playing in the finals, but we lost to Australia. But I think 2007 T20 World Cup victory was, yes, Brendan McCullum's knock. That first game of IPL was a great curtain raiser. But I would say that more importantly, India winning in 2007 T20 World Cup was perhaps the real starting block for IPL and the way it is.
Paji, how has IPL sort of changed the dynamics and the ecosystem of Indian cricket? We all know that the IPL the broadcast rights have just soared over the skies from where it all started and now where it is. How do you see the dynamics being changed over the years and IPL as a global brand?
Well, Debashish, as most things, there are pluses and minuses. There are positive sides, there are negative sides. So IPL as a property is no different. It has given us some phenomenal talent. Back in 2008 when it all started, all the class of 2011 World Cup, Yuvraj Singh, MS Dhoni, Gautam Gambhir, Harbhajan Singh, they were all at the prime of their careers. So we have seen some phenomenal feats, phenomenal records, some exciting cricket being played on the field. There are a lot of inspirations that has gone through the ranks because of these achievements. There have been some improvements which have been leaps and bounds in stroke making. We see a lot of youngsters, they want to be 360-degree cricketers. We've seen young Ayush Badoni burst on the scene this IPL, and how he uses the entire field to score runs. So the fielding ability, the boundary riding catches, the catches within the circle. So a lot of improvement from the skills point of view has taken place, which is phenomenal. I think Indian cricket should pat itself on its back, because the skill levels on a scale of 10 has really gone up thanks to IPL now.
And how do you see the IPL as a brand growing over the years?
Well, as from a brand point of view, there is no parallel in world cricket. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of other cricket boards have tried. Big Bash League came around. It created a little bit of a flutter, but could not match up to the standards of Indian Premier League. Then we recently had 100 come around from England Cricket Board. It is doing all right, but I would say let's not compare IPL to any other franchisee cricket, because the following that the Indian fan, the following of an Indian fan that comes with IPL can never be matched by any other league. So I think IPL, and then the rest. From a brand point of view, from skills point of view, from the viewership point of view, I think IPL is right up there.
Thanks very much, Paji. Thank you.
This is extra time. Extra time.